All right, today I'm going to show you how to draw a cityscape using 2-point perspective. Now, I'm working on a half-size sheet of paper just for this presentation. You can work on something bigger. It's going to be the same concept. It really doesn't matter. But what you need to make sure you have is pencil, paper, a ruler, okay, to make those straight lines. And today I will not have a ruler, and I will be not using an eraser either. So I'll try to tell you when to erase and when not to erase. However, you need to have those materials so your work can be professional and nice and clean, right? Craftsmanship matters. So also, when I get started, I am going to draw a rectangle here. This is going to represent my paper, okay? I want to create this box to represent my page. All right, so when drawing perspective here, first thing you're going to need to do is have a horizon line. And we know the horizon line is the invisible line where the sky and the earth appears to meet. So typically that's usually in the middle of your page or paper somewhere, but actually it doesn't really matter per se. I'm going to put mine a little bit lower than half the page. And I'm going to draw it lightly. The reason I'm going to draw it lightly is because eventually you're going to erase that. You're not going to need it anymore. So make sure you're working horizontally on your work. Okay, next, I am going to go ahead and put vanishing points. I need 2 because I'm using 2-point perspective. And those vanishing points, they will sit on the end of your horizon line. And those are those points at which things begin to disappear into space. All right, we know that this 2-point linear perspective is whenever you have 90-degree angles. They appear to converge at 90-degree angles, right? So eventually, those angles will need to meet up somewhere, and I'm going to have them meet up in the middle. So right about here. Now what I want to do is I want to make sure that I leave space at the top of my paper. I'm going to draw a line going down, but it's not going to go all the way to the top, and it's not going to go all the way to the bottom, but it's going to be getting close. And now what I want to do is I want to connect the top of this middle line to my vanishing points. I'm going to do the same thing on both ends. But before I do that, I want to acknowledge something. I know that I'm drawing a building, a city. So I'm going to draw it very lightly. And I'm not even going to go all the way there. But again, you want to make sure that it is touching the vanishing points from the top here. So I went very lightly. You can probably barely see it. And you're going to repeat it on both sides. Okay, what I want to do here is I want to make this a building, but I want it to look like a skyscraper, so it needs to be tall. It needs to appear to be tall. I'm going to make it a slender building. So I am going to cut that off right about here. This will be my cutoff. Okay, now you should be able to see a building appearing here, and that's when I'm going to go a little deeper and darker and outline it. Now clearly at this point, you're not going to need your horizon line so much anymore. So if you want to go ahead and erase it, feel free to erase it. You still are going to need those vanishing points though. Make sure the lines go all the way down. They need to go all the way down there. Very nice. If you're using your ruler, make sure you're using your ruler so your lines will be nice and straight. Now, I'm pretty much ready to add another building, but before I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and add some windows. And my windows are going to be fairly simple. They are going to go in the direction of the vanishing point, which is this way. These are going to be some simple windows. And if I want to add my door again. It goes this way. Questions? We good? Perfect. I'll give you about 30 more seconds and I'm going to go to add my second building. Raise your hand if you want the building to be taller than this one. Raise your hand if you want it to be smaller than this one. Raise your hand if you want it to be medium. Smaller one. Alright. It's going to be smaller, but it's technically going to be medium. All right, so here we go. Now, I want to add another building. And I could follow this same line for my buildings. If I follow that same line, it will appear about right here. But you all want it to be a little shorter. So I'm going to use my same vanishing point to create a new area for my building. And I'm going to go ahead and put a top line there. Okay, now again, I am going to bring those lines down. And if you can notice, there is some space here. Now, this space, these lines here need to go towards my vanishing point. So, right here on the side, these lines need to go in this direction. And this one, my vanishing point needs to go up. Okay, so you can see the separation of the buildings. Okay, I should put some lotion on. I got the ashy fingers on my video. All right, we got our second building. Okay, I want to add some windows. So my windows are going to, again, follow the vanishing point, which is slanted, right? That's one of the biggest things that I notice. Make sure your windows and your doors are going towards the vanishing point. All right. I'm going to go back and add another building, but I'm going to use the same line that I originally had from this building. So it's going to make this building about right here. I'm just gonna go add some windows while I'm at it. Alright, so I'm going to move to this side now. I'm going to keep this line to make it a building. And this needs to go in this direction. And this one needs to go in this direction. Okay, I'm gonna go a little taller this time. Now I want you at this point to go ahead and try and make your own buildings on the opposite side if you have not tried already. Okay, add those doors. Any questions? Now, I want to get a little fancy here. Okay. Now, I want to put some buildings in the background. So I'm just going to draw a regular old building going frontal. Just like this. Okay, I can go and be creative with my buildings. I can put some stuff here. I can go ahead and put the sun. I'm gonna go ahead and add my sidewalk like I showed you how to do, coming from the vanishing point. These lines need to go I can add like some street lights. Got a little bus stop going.